After COP30, we'll talk about that. The grooming gangs inquiry, that's in the toilet already. The Met Police have gone, oh, maybe we should deal with proper crime instead of people who hang up dirty underwear. What was that story again, Bleksley?
Yes, a neighbour hung some dirty, soiled laundry underpants on their line. The neighbour complained about it. The police attended.
What a load of old... Oh, there we go. Voice note, the grooming gangs has got you lot already. Patrick, good morning.
Hey, Jezza, Patrick. The problem with this inquiry is that you've got to find a judge with the nads to say what it includes. And we don't exclude anybody. If you get called up to give evidence, you go and give evidence. If you don't give evidence, then you're prosecuted. And if you still refuse, then you go to prison. It's got to be a full and open inquiry.
He's right, isn't he? Sean in Gloucester, good morning every bloody day. Keith Starling infuriates the life out of me. This man gets everything wrong. Keith, just do one decent thing, me old son, and call an election. We don't like you and we don't want you. Good morning to... I don't know. Morning, JK and Peter. The rape gang inquiry is far too big for a UK head to be appointed. It needs an external chair, and there also need to be public trials and sentencing of those found guilty of the cover-ups, irrespective of their current position. Only then will the nation feel that justice has been served. Mark in Croydon. Good morning, pal. Jez, I almost expect politicians and council workers to ignore these gangs for self-preservation purposes, but the police will always slightly surprise me, as I used to believe that they were there to protect victims, but now are more political to me, it seems, than anybody else in the country. How can, please ask Bleksley, how can the police ignore these victims but chase down a tweet? It's madness.
Complete madness. One of the great honours of being sat in this chair on a Tuesday morning is to listen to the views and the questions that the audience put forward. John, for example, the language they call it, John, is the terms of reference. I completely agree. The terms of reference need to be clear, need to be distinct so everybody can understand them. The inquiry also needs to be a full public inquiry led by a judge, so we would then have the power to summons people to come and give evidence. But please, just let me use these two names, Fiona Goddard and Ellie Reynolds, because they're the two former victims of child sexual grooming and abuse, and they're the two that have walked away because, and they've said, the officials wanted to downplay the ethnicity and the religious background of the perpetrators, right? Which rewinds to why they didn't investigate it in the first place.
And can I just say, for anybody who thinks, well, you can't say that, I repeat what I said 21 minutes ago because it's etched on my brain. As a father, tell me I'm wrong. Phone me up, text me, do whatever you want, right? Am I wrong to say that I expect my kids to be able to live in a safe country where they're not pieces of meat that can be sexually assaulted by men? I don't care where those men come from. I don't care what their religion is. I don't care the colour of their skin. As a father, it's abhorrent. Listen to this. I think, Phil... Jez and Pete, Phil in Coventry, regarding the Met saying it'll cost millions to investigate the London rape gangs. They seem to have absolutely no issue spending millions every single day putting up illegal migrants. You know, the Mayor, we saw a video earlier of Susan Hall, that excellent Tory member of the London Assembly, taking on Sadiq Khan and going, are there grooming gangs? And you go, I don't understand the lady's question. Completely stonewalling it. So then she thought she'd ask, that this is brilliant, Deputy Mayor for Policing, Keir Schwartz, is that right? This is the Deputy Mayor for Policing in London, and Susan Hall's having another go. Have a watch, have a listen.
Are there rape gangs in London? You're the Deputy Mayor for Policing. The Mayor won't answer.
As
It's a yes or
said,
no.
I will happily answer the question that we do want to prioritise and make sure there's high levels of forensic support and evidence gathering on sexual abuse of all kinds,
Do you know
especially
how bad
children.
this looks? Do you understand how bad this
Hall,
looks
would you
for
like
Labour?
me to...
You've asked the question.
I've asked the question and I haven't got an answer yet again.
If you'd let me
disgraceful.
Sorry, that's the Deputy Mayor. Is that the Deputy Mayor of London? Christ, I've got a hope and chance.
Deputy Mayor for Policing, and dare I suggest...
It's about 11.
I don't think she's a towering intellect. I really don't. And the real scandal is to think, you know what? I could have applied for that job. I wouldn't have got it, of course, because they think I'm dangerous. Listen to that woman in that role. No wonder. And they're supposed to be holding the police, the Metropolitan Police, to account. It's absolutely...
You are so wound up about this. We'll take some calls. 03 0344 499 1000. Text to 87222. The gangs inquiry. If you remember with Labour, they went, we're not going to have a national one, we're going to have a local one. Then they went, oh, we better have a national one. Now, on this Tuesday morning, we can tell you exclusively that 2 of the victims who were part of it have already said we're not having anything to do with it because it's a cover-up. Keir Starmer, nothing. Let's talk about him, shall we? Yeah, brilliant. Right, never here, Keir. He sent out a really weird tweet yesterday. I'm just going to read this out. It makes no sense to man nor beast, right? Keir Starmer said, national renewal isn't just moving money around. It's about completely rewiring the state and the economy. It's about unlocking the potential of everyone. It's about rebuilding our public service. That is the purpose of my government. Right, so if the purpose of your government is to basically make this country better, when you've got this grooming gangs inquiry, which is beginning to look like a cover-up, when you've got the worst set of financial figures for years, and we're now, I mean, you know, we've got inflation, everything's wrong with this country. You've got a budget coming up that's patently going to tax anybody that's done anything aspirational. You've got, there's a whole raft of problems in this country. There's anti-Semitism, there's marches and everything. What are you going to do about it? I'm going to Brazil. COP30. I thought somebody said something else. COP30 is in Brazil. Do you know about this?
At the Copacabana.
The hardest spot north of Havana. At the Copa. It's Barry Manilow. Barry Manilow at 6:32. Peter,
we need to apologise to Mr. Manilow for what we just did.
Well,
there.
I'm not apologising. Can I just say that I'm thinking on that we could have a new pop group, Jerry and the Atrics. There you go.
So that's where he's headed.
Or you might need to dump this, but it is quite funny. What about if 4 of us set up a pop group? One Erection, we could call it, couldn't we? I'm joking. Of course I am, ladies and gentlemen. COP30. I don't know if you've seen this, but they have spent months digging rainforest. I mean, digging trees. You think about what that's all about. Billions of pounds, apparently, we're going to save the planet. And they're all going to fly in on their gas-guzzling jets. You try saying that at 6:32 in the morning.
Yeah.
He's going to go probably separately from Miliband. Patently, love your take on this. The only reason he's going is because he's gone, right, well, I've probably lost all the votes to reform and I can't get them back. So now I'm slightly worried by Jack... Is it
Polanski?
The man who makes women's
Zach
breasts.
Polanski.
Yeah, the man who used to be a hypnotist. I can make your breasts grow. I bet you can. Anyway, he's the one with crap teeth who's in charge of the Greens. And also the Fruit and Nut Party, Jeremy Corbyn and Zara Sultana. And presumably Starmer's going... They're on the left, they're going to be talking about green issues and a lot of people in my party, so I better go. What about what's going on in this country for everyday working people, Keir?
So there you go.
Never here.
There's his pathetic motivation for it, to go out to COP and show what a green-spirited person he is to try and rescue some of those votes away from the Green Party. But, of course, the Green Party used to be concerned about environmental matters. I remember when they used to bang on about recycling and getting an electric car and all of that. But now they've morphed into this lunatic, pseudo-communist kind of... They're just bonkers. They're absolutely stark raving
And for
mad.
anybody who thinks that voting for the Green Party, and I'm allowed, this is my personal opinion, this is a 60-year-old man, is about the, you know, hugging trees, the friends of the earth, you know, all those people. It's not. It's about charging about 80% tax on anybody who's made any... And it's not, by the way, it's all about billionaires. No, it's not. Anybody that's achieved anything, been promoted, got a few quid, you're absolutely screwed. He's quite dangerous. And he's seen a surge, and that might well happen. And Ed Davey, they're all mad, and they're all off to COP. And Mike always says, and Mike is so spot on with this, God rest him. God rest him, I remember that, God bless him. The truth is, right, Mike Graham said months ago, what happens if we ever get there? What if we get to net zero? Well done, you've got yourself a medal. It's all gone brilliantly. But it's made no difference to the world, save we're more skint than before.
Zach Polanski makes Jeremy Corbyn look like Margaret Thatcher, right?
There's a thought.
He is that lunatic left. He's off the spectrum.
I think instead of hypnotising women, he should have hypnotised his dentist, to be honest, but I could be missing the bleeding point.
I mean, I went to see him to see if he could reduce my man boobs, but he found manifestly couldn't do that. Well, moving swiftly on.
Have you got man boobs? Well, we can talk about it.
No, moving swiftly on.
Oh, it's quite sad. It's a man boob Bleksley.
It's just, they're mad. The Greens have gone stark raving bonkers.
Yeah.
And yet they're dragging votes away, Starmer thinks, from the Labour Party. So he goes to Brazil. And what will be the carbon footprint
I don't
of
even
that
know
event.
what that means, Pete.
Well, I
Can you
think
help
it's-
me out? What
I
is a
think it's-
carbon footprint?
I think it's the amount of carbon that is created by the emissions on the aeroplanes, the food they'd eat, the cars they'll drive in, the heating of the hotels they might stay in, and all of that kind of thing. People
So do
earn a
that in the
living-
middle of the Amazon rainforest.
People
then,
earn
that's
a
good.
living out of calculating these things. They really
Why
do.
are you doing your hands like that?
Because it's
That's
getting
really
bigger.
weird, is it?
Because it's getting bigger and bigger and bigger.
Well
you see.
done, congratulations.
So calculating
Yes.
the carbon footprint of COP and then go, right, and this is supposed to be about the environment. What a hypocritical
Do you know what? Do you know
bunch of-
these things? This COP stuff that reminds me very much of the European Union when they were all in Brussels with their noses in the trough, all with loads of money and huge expense accounts. I look at Miliband and I'm being completely. I have this argument with my 22-year-old who thinks I'm turning into the devil incarnate, and she says, "But don't you care about the planet?" No, yeah, I do, yeah, but I honestly, I think, of course, we would all go, we're concerned about the planet, but I think it's about priorities. And I think that if you've got an NHS on its backside, if you've got no control of your borders, if you spend so little on defence, if your policemen and women, there aren't enough of them to actually be on the streets to get intel to arrest people, if your country is suffering as it is, I would have respectfully thought, as we can't even afford the interest on the debts we've got, your priorities might be different. Bear in mind, while we're trying to save the bleeding planet, right? China and Russia don't give a rat's, not in any which way at all. And so it's sort of, to me, it's really, really misplaced virtue signalling. It's absolutely. And just while we bring it on, it doesn't get any better for Starmer. Have you seen this? I mean, what else could go? Where's my paper gone? Where's the current? PM's migrant return. See, that's not going very well. I don't know if you know this, but since he became Prime Minister, we've had 60,000 in.
Yes.
This deal with France. One
Yes.
in, one out.
Yes.
Well, it's not gone very well. We've managed... 42 have gone.
Yes.
42 have gone, not 82. I got that wrong
Yes.
yesterday.
Yeah.
So that's 60,000 in and 42 out. What's the balance there? 59,958. It's not looking great. What are you looking at your calculator for?
Because on Saturday, just gone,
Yeah, Millwall beat QPR.
Seven dinghies came to the
right,
UK,
okay, yeah.
carrying 369 illegal immigrants
Right,
on
yeah.
board. You see, which just gives you some kind of indicator as to how appalling this is all going. And a mate of mine called John Austin, who's a journo, he's released an article on his website
My mate
today.
Johnny Austin, who's a journo.
He's released an article today about how the new department that the government set up to try and prevent this immigration has actually, with the Border Force, been patrolling Devon and Cornwall because they're very concerned about people coming in down there, that these boats are shifting their focus away somewhat from the channel, because we know all about it, and they're trying to smuggle people in through Devon and Cornwall.
I could
And
stop
they are-
it in a heartbeat.
Right, and they arrested, let me just pull these figures up, because I believe this is an important piece of journalism. They questioned 5,500 people, 68 were arrested, 51 for immigration officers, offences, 34 were refused entry, 36 false documents seized, 1,204 vehicles, vessels and flights were stopped and searched. So they're very much aware that people are coming in through these routes. While we're all looking at dinghies and Dover, there's people coming in through other means.
And what's our Prime Minister doing? He faces fresh migration woes. Page 10 of the Sun today. As a long-awaited Rwanda-style deal is still out of reach. Talks with the Balkan nations to host return hubs was unlikely to end in a deal by the time the PM meets its leaders tomorrow. This is what Shabana Mahmood started talking about. Can I put this to the public? Please do let me know if I have lost the plot on a Tuesday morning. 0344 499 1000. So you basically got an island, right, Pete?
Yep.
And however upsetting this might sound to certain people, we're really struggling as a country to do basic things, and it makes no sense to have people here that we can't vet because they might be dangerous criminals, to either commit crime and overcrowd our prisons or come here and sign on or take advantage of a society that's already crumbling. But apparently the problem is we can't stop them coming, and we're worried about what that's going to look like.
Well, of course.
Put the Navy in the channel, right? Turn 3 boats round, get the biggest liner you can find, recondition it, have it off the coast. Nobody sets foot in this country. They are processed by a crack team. It can't take long to train people to do it correctly. He's 47, he's not a child, he's got a beard. What's wrong with you people? Just do the job and then I'll tell you how to stop it in a heartbeat. Build a detention centre that isn't a Butlins holiday camp. Make it as a detention centre should be, because I guarantee you the word would get back pretty bloody quickly that the English, the British, whatever we're allowed to be called, are not a soft touch, because we are a soft touch. What is wrong with these people?
I'd like the detention centre to be smothered in razor wire, of course, and patrolled by snarling Alsatians.
Oh, you horrible man!
And without wishing to offend my many friends north of the border in the wonderful Scotland, they've got some remote islands up there.
Orkneys.
They've got some islands up there.
Yep.
And they might appreciate a bit of employment opportunities.
And a few midges as well.
Yep, and they can whack them all up there.
I don't know how you said that. After